Hey, what's going on, everybody? Welcome back to New Stuff TV, the untechnical tech channel. I'm your host, Antoine. What a time to be alive, Richardson. Why is it a time to be alive? Well, it's because LG has done something I didn't know that the world needed. But it's kind of cool that it's here, man. So what a time to be alive. Look, man, this is a 4K laser projector. This right here, you see my hand? Look at that, dude. My hand covers it up. In fact, check this out. This is the profile of the projector right here. Boom. You see that? That's a CD. Okay, the CD is the same size as the projector. Bruh, look at that. That is the CD on top of the projector. They are pretty much the same dimensions. That is nuts, man. Check this out. Let's do a throwback to Outkast, man. This right here is a classic. Now, for real, how many of you guys out there remember the CDs? Look, I know you young bucks out there don't know what this is. You all about the MP3 and stuff, but you know, this right here was just previous to CDs, and previous to this was cassette tapes and 45s. You know what I'm saying? So, but seriously, man, look at this. This is freaking nuts. This is a 4K laser projector. It is called the LG CineBeam Q. Now, spec-wise, this thing is topping out at 500 lumens. Now, that's not super stupid bright, but it is definitely bright enough for you to enjoy your content in a well-dimmed room or a completely dark room, which is what I would suggest. And when you think about it, man, isn't that the same song that's sung by every other lifestyle projector? This one is gonna be no different. And since I've got this thing turned around the back, let's take a look around all the ports and stuff that you got to deal with here. You got your HDMI port, which does support eARC. You got your USB, or that's a USB-C, so you can actually put a flash drive in there and grab your content out of there. And then you got your DC in because it does come with a charging brick. This is your charging brick. It does not have a battery, so you must plug this in order for it to work. It does have a 3-watt built-in speaker, okay? And I'm pretty sure that's the dome right there. And when we're talking about 3 watts, look, man, it's 3 watts. So if you want to enjoy your content in like surround sound or something like that, you're just going to have to run that HDMI into the back of this thing and hook it up to a sound bar or something like that. Or if you want to hook it up to a Bluetooth speaker, which is what I would suggest, find yourself a low latency Bluetooth speaker and you'll have great sound with your beautiful 4K lasered content. There's your power button right there, and then there's your IR sensor. Now, since I brought up the IR sensor, here is the remote. This is not a magic remote, which is LG's typical stuff, but it does feel like one. It actually feels like a good quality remote. Just remember, it's not a magic remote. This is just a straight up IR sensor remote. But it does have your dedicated buttons there for some content like Netflix and Disney Plus, and what is that, Amazon Prime? Yeah, you got all that right there. And of course, you got your D-pad to navigate through all your interface. That is WebOS 6. But one thing I do wish the remote had on it was a dedicated focus button. Because this thing, while it does do a fantastic job of auto keystone, which I'm gonna get into, let's do that next. It does a fantastic job of auto keystone. As far as focus, sometimes, like, you know, if you bump it a little bit, it might not focus well, or if you move it, it might not focus well. So I wish there was a dedicated like auto focus button on here. But when you go into the interface, you go into the settings, you go into the interface and focus it, man, you can get some tack sharp focus on this thing, man. It is tack stinking sharp. But since I brought up auto keystone, man, this one right here is by far like leagues beyond any other auto keystone I've ever encountered on one of these lifestyle projectors. You can literally aim this thing pretty much everywhere. As long as it's on a flat surface, what it does is it will level itself out, keystone itself, and it is just gonna be squared up against whatever flat surface you aim it at, whether it's at the ceiling, like on the upper wall, the lower wall, the mid wall, sideways. This thing is super clutch when it comes into aligning itself, which brings me to a good point. Lifestyle projector. Look at it. No, seriously, look at it. This thing is actually kind of a work of art, man. This is the kind of projector that you can just sit somewhere and leave it there. You can set it on your nightstand, on a coffee table, or your side table on the side of your couch. And if, of course, it can project from there because of the auto keystone, but you can leave it out. All the other ones that I've tried on this channel, you know, once you're done with them, you got to put them away because they're not the prettiest. They look like projectors. This right here, this just looks like kind of like a retro piece, like a design piece or a design element in your home. And if you don't want it sitting on the table, like let's say you prop it up on the coffee table, let's say you don't want it there full time, you can just prop it up on a shelf and it just kind of looks like part of your decor. So you don't have to just tuck it away all the time. I think that's actually value right there. The fact that you don't even have to put it away anymore in order to keep your aesthetic in your home. But to sum things up on the back of this little beast, we're going to talk about this fan right here. As soon as you start playing your content at semi-normal volume, you will not hear the fan anymore. It just kind of goes away into the background, especially since you're going to be so immersed in this beautiful picture quality this thing delivers. Now, LG tells you that you can project up to 120 inches. 120 inches is big, especially when you're talking about 500 lumens, okay? So at that mark, the 120 inch screen mark, you're really stretching the boundaries of this thing. It's going to be a little bit dimmer, okay? It's going to be a little bit dimmer, and you're going to, have to refocus this thing. But I think personally the sweet spot is about 100 inches to my practice. That's what I use it on, was a 100-inch screen. I tried it on a 120 and the 100-inch, man, dude, that is the sweet spot. 100 inches is where it's at. And what you're gonna get is corner to corner sharpness. I'm talking tack sharp sharpness. And say that 5 times fast. Tack sharp sharpness. And you're gonna get a beautiful bright picture that's like saturated, not oversaturated, but it's gonna give you real depth. And of course you got your different modes. You got like sports modes, you got like a filmmaker mode, and then you got a gaming mode. Dude, it has a gaming mode. And check this out. If you are like one of those hardcore gamers, okay, well, not competition gaming, but you like to really get into your games, right? And you want that smooth refresh rate, 120 hertz refresh rate. You can, okay, it's a 4K projector, but if you bump it down a notch, you'll get 1080p 120. You can game at 1080p 120 on this thing right here, on this thing, on 120 inches, okay? That is crazy. But you do have your gaming mode. You got your gaming mode menu, so you can adjust some of these settings if you want to. And I think that's super clutch to have in that interface, which is WebOS 6. Now, WebOS 6, I usually love it. From time to time on this particular projector, it's, it kind of lags a little bit. I don't know what that is. Maybe we can get an update or something like that, but mostly it works fluently, just like WebOS has always done for me. But from time to time on this particular unit, it has lagged just a little bit and just a couple of times. In the year 2024, when lifestyle projectors are becoming a real solid topic in the conversation of home entertainment, I think this one is a really solid choice. In fact, I really do believe it is best in class of its counterparts. Now, that's something to talk about because its counterparts are typically less expensive, and I'm talking far less expensive. This thing retails for about $1,200, I think, or give or take. That's quite a bit of money, man, especially for a lifestyle projector. But a lot of the competition is only giving you 1080p and not 4K laser such as this one. Some of them actually have a battery that can last up to 2 to 2.5 hours, but that's on eco mode. And who wants to watch a movie on eco mode? It is so dim, you will not get 500 lumens out of eco mode. And just to round things off, let's get right back into versatility. You see this right here? This is not just a stand. It's a 360-degree rotating handle / stand. When you need to pick it up, you can just pick it up by the body because it is CD small, but you can also use this as a handle to either grab it or hang it from something. Or if you want to, you can just tilt it up just like that, all the way up to about there, or you can just sit it down flat and enjoy your content that way. You got your gaming mode at 1080p, 120 hertz, and best in class auto keystone. I'm serious, I have never seen a projector adjust itself as quickly and as accurately as this one has. As long as I've been doing projectors on this channel. And let's not just glaze over the fact that once you're done watching your content, this thing actually just doubles as a piece of your decor, and you do not have to put it away because it's just handsome sitting there on your coffee table or end table. Now, I'm not an expert in this kind of stuff, but what I do know is this thing has literally reminded me of the good old days of CDs. So I don't have a CD player, so I'm gonna go grab my phone and listen to some Outkast, man. Y'all keep being good to each other, and I'll see you when I see you.